Hey, James here from Simple Online Clients, and welcome into the SOC show. In this episode, I'm going to be talking to you about why your clients will get better results online than they ever could in person. Hard to believe, I know. Trust me, this was the biggest revelation for me as I moved my own personal training business into the online space. But I'm going to break down the exact reasons how and why in this episode. So please do me a favor, if you are watching live, drop me a hashtag live. If you're watching on the replay, drop me a hashtag replay. It really helps to boost the algorithm. All right, let's dive straight into it. Before we dive into this, I want to really give everyone a pat on the back, because if you think about it, if this is your main concern, how will my clients get results online? That is a very selfless way to be thinking, and it's a really good indication that you're going to be an incredible online coach because you actually care about client results. And if that is your thought, first and foremost, trust me, you are going to crush it online, because it's not everybody's first thought. It's, a lot of coaches, people going online are doing it because they think it's the easier road. Well, actually, that's not the case either. Yes, it's much easier to create a lot more money because it's much more scalable, and it's much easier to have a bigger impact. It's not an easy journey. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you on that. However, when we talk to coaches, one of the biggest things that crops up is that my clients need me there for accountability. I've got to call bullshit on this immediately, because it's something that held me back for a long time. And the truth is that I learned, over time, is that it's the lowest form of accountability we can really offer a human being, to just tell them to be there for an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours a week, and they have to be there at that specific time. It's not real empowerment. Yes, it's a little bit of accountability in terms of I have to be at X place at X time, which means I'll go and get a good workout in at least 1, 2, 3 times a week. But is that really providing the value in this client's life that you could provide? And look, I'm not here to badmouth personal trainers. I was a personal trainer for 4 years in person. I think it's an amazing profession. And I think a lot of you out there, in fact, I know a lot of you out there are incredible one-to-one coaches, getting incredible results for your clients. But just because that's true, that doesn't mean you can't do that online as well. Now, that's a scalable business online, and that's more impact. So it's better for you, and it's better for the world. So anytime anything's better for you and better for the world, it's a really good decision, right? So accountability, I truly believe that it's a very low form of accountability to just be there for your client 1, 2, 3 hours a week. I actually think, and this kind of moves on to point number 2, I actually think that empowerment is what we should be giving people, regardless of the type of coaching we're doing. It's no different in my profession. We need to empower someone. What we're actually doing when we're seeing a client, and this is not always true, it's not always the case. I know we've probably got physios watching, we've got injury prevention watching, we've got a lot of people working on mobility and stuff like that. Again, team, honestly, I had such a big focus on mobility and quality of movement in my online program. It was unreal. We never had any injuries. And I just viewed my clients' movement via video. I think the virus pretty much told everyone that we can help clients via video, right? We don't always need to be there in person. I'm sure there's some instances that, would prove that rule wrong, but I'm talking in general. Now, empowerment versus the savior mentality is my next point. And for a long time, I actually was saving people in a moment, as opposed to empowering people for a lifetime and potentially a multi-generational impact, teaching them the real things that they can pass on, the real healthy habits they can pass on to the next generations, right? And the problem with this is that it makes us feel great and it makes our client feel great. Let's get a really good workout in. Let's, make them sweat. They'll go away feeling amazing. I'm not saying that any of this is negative. All I'm saying is that there is a different way to do this, and you can get your clients better results than you can in person. It was the biggest revelation I ever had when I moved my business online. I could not believe it, because it was my biggest concern. I got incredible success with people in person. I was like, how can I recreate that online? But understand that you absolutely can if you've got the right systems in place. Part of that system is education. So think about it. How much education can you really pass on to a person in 1 hour a week or 2 hours a week if they're, coming in and you're doing some one-to-one work, fitness professional to client? Yes, I'm sure there's a million and one different variations. You might have a hybrid program where you are providing some nutritional advice or mindset coaching. You might have some of that built in, and that's great. You're on the journey to having a much bigger impact in someone's life. But traditionally, we're seeing that client for a certain amount of time. It's a time for money trade and exchange. And how much education can we really give them? Like if they're doing the workout, you were focused on the form, they're focused on the breathing. If they're in between sets, then they're resting. Yeah, we can have a little chat about nutrition and stuff like that. Well, it's very difficult. Whereas if you bring someone into an online program, you can give them immediate access to a suite of education, modules in education that you can then guide them around what they need there and then that can get them the best results without you. And this is a scary thought for a lot of coaches as well, because a lot of people think if I get incredible success for someone, well, they won't hang around. They won't stay. Like, why would they stay? The truth is that it's the complete opposite. And we found this with Push Program. The more success we got for people, the easier we made it for them, the longer they wanted to stay. The big mindset shift to make here is that what you offer them after their initial transformation needs to be different. It needs to be based on where they're at then, because they're not in the same place as they were when they first came into your program. So it just needs to be different. And that's a different conversation. That's really talking about the back-end business model and your back-end delivery model. But just know that clients will stay with you a lot longer if you're getting an incredible success. You probably already had this with in-person clients. If you've got great results for people, they stay because they want more access to you. They want to keep getting these results. They want to not only maintain results, but go on to achieve bigger things. So education is a huge part of why I think it's much easier to get client success online. Another big part of it is environment. I think if you can collect people together with shared pains, shared passions, and shared desires and shared goals that are very similar, right? The only reason we're able to build Push Program to such a successful business that had such a good impact in both my life in terms of income, but also in terms of impact in the world, was because we collected one specific type of person. We only worked with Australian mums over 30 who wanted to drop a couple of dress sizes and do it through the means of strength training. Like, strength training was our thing. So I threw rocks at other methods of training, and strength training was our thing. I worked with mums that wanted to get strong and do this, through weights and through the compound movements that I believed in. So that was my way of doing things. And the reason they got even better results online is because I could collect them together in a community, because tribes move together. And at the end of the day, lone wolves tend to die. So if you can collect people in a tribe with shared vision and shared goals and desires, they will connect and they will grow and move as a tribe. And it's quite an incredible thing to see and be a part of. And it's one of the most amazing things you can ever do as a coach, actually, because it's an incredible feeling. And to see that and to be a part of that, to create a culture within an environment where people are thriving is an amazing thing to do. It's an amazing thing to do. So environment is key. You can't really do that. Yes, I know CrossFit did that really well, amazingly well. Probably the biggest part of why they were so successful, right? Some group coaching that you can do that in. There's different elements. I know there's always exceptions. I know there's a million and one fitness options out there. Some of them do build some community in there. But I feel like online, you can create an incredible community that can rival any in-person environment. It really can. And I found that hard to believe as well. These were all big mindset shifts for me back in 2018 when I moved 100% online with my own online personal training or online fitness coaching business. The last point, really, which really needs to be the first point, to be honest, is you are providing a specific solution. This is why you can get better results, because it's for a specific person. So you are going to create a pathway, and that pathway and process is going to get dialed in over and over again over time for one person. Now, most of the time we're working with all different types of people as personal trainers and in-person fitness professionals. I know I was. From ladies over 60 that just love to come in and have a natter and get a bit of a sweat on, to kids, 19-year-old kids, guys that just wanted to get a bit more muscle, to weight loss client, like across the board, injury prevention, movement. That's pretty typical in an in-person brick and mortar situation, which basically means that you're a generalist, a specialist. That's the truth. Online, you can become a specialist and dial in a process for one specific person. So the results actually get better and better and better as you get more experienced in working with this one type of person, which is incredibly powerful. It's amazing because you've got then the proven pathway. That doesn't only help with client results and client retention, it helps with marketing and positioning, because then you feed that back into advertising and push out into the market your message around, this is who I work with, this is what I do. The more transformations you get, acts like a flywheel, so your business grows. So it's not just a bonus in terms of amazing results you're going to get for your clients. It's a bonus in terms of growing your business, because you are that specific solution for one specific person. So just to recap, I want to keep this one pretty quick. First is accountability. Real accountability is when you can have a lot more input into your client's life. You can help them 24/7, not just 1 or 2 hours a week, right? So they're not on their own for 160 odd hours a week. So accountability is a big fear for people because they think they're providing accountability through one-to-one services. I don't believe that to be true. I think it's one of the lowest forms of accountability you can give a human. And I think we need to do better as coaches and give them accountability in all areas of their life. Talking to them about nutrition on a deeper level, mindset on a deeper level, healthy habits, how to do this on their own, how to empower them is point number 2. We can empower someone to do this on their own and to pass those amazing habits on to the next generation. They will want to stay with us for a long time. Again, this feeds the flywheel of even more transformations, even more great testimonials back into the market to get more of these same type of person. So ultimate empowerment really is giving someone the tools to do this for themselves. It's not really holding the hand and saving them in the moment for an hour or 2 a week, because that feels great for us as humans. It feels great for them. Oh, save that person again, got them back on track. But that's actually a negative cycle. Savior, falling off track, saving them again. You'll have seen when a lot of your in-person PT clients go on holiday for 2 weeks, they come back a mess. Like they've undone potentially weeks or months of hard work that you've done together because they didn't have the tools and they weren't truly empowered. And I'm not saying this to offend anyone. Like I said before, I know there's personal trainers and in-person fitness professionals doing incredible work out there. There's always going to be a place for that. I'm not saying it has to be one or the other. I truly do think there'll always be a place for in-person training. I think it's amazing. But there is true empowerment that can be achieved online. If, points 3, 4, and everything else I've mentioned are in place, education and environment, like these are 2 big things, 3 and 4, the pillars of your online program. Can we really provide the education, which helps with the empowerment? And can we provide the environment so they can grow together with like-minded people? Because that helps. We all know that environment is fundamental to growth. You've heard all the sayings, you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time around. I don't know how true that is. But what I do know is that anytime that I've surrounded myself by people that are positive, that have good energy, that are on the same trajectory as me, my results have exploded and my progress has exploded. So that's super key. And then number 5, which is going to be the fundamental aspect of anything we really talk about, is solve a specific problem for a specific person. This is your offer. This is what you're doing. And in this instance, with today's topic and this episode topic, it helps because you get better and better at providing that solution and providing that result. So guys, hope you took something from this. I want to give you something to action immediately off the back of this episode. So I've put together a 10-step cheat sheet to actually delivering packages and transformations for clients that are going to be valued at $2,000-$3,000 plus. So if you want that, just comment below. What should we go for? Let's go for results. Comment below results. And I will send you that 10-step cheat sheet on exactly how to deliver. This is based on what we did at Push Program to get over 300 incredible transformations at a high ticket price point in Australia. This can work anywhere. That's just where I chose to market. If you want that, comment below results and I will get it to you. Thanks for tuning in and I will see you on the next episode.